970 WOCA.
Ocala.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above.
5 minutes after 9 o'clock, it is time for Veterans News. Hank Whittier is in the studio. Good morning, Hank.
Today, in person.
In person.
Come by and get your 8x10 glossies. Ben Adams will sign them for you. Right, Benjamin?
That is correct.
Absolutely. Hey, Ben's here with, Ben Adams is a sergeant with the Marion County Sheriff's Department, wants to talk about a couple of things. But like a lot of mornings, and mornings that I don't particularly like, we do have casualties to announce. So, Gary, you have our Army casualty this morning?
Yes, I do. I have United States Army Specialist Kyle E. Gilbert, age 24, of Beaufort, Georgia. He died on September 21st in Bagram, Afghanistan. He was assigned to the 2nd Battalion, 14th Infantry Regiment of the Great 10th Mountain Division of Fort Drum, New York. Our thoughts and prayers go out to that family of that soldier.
Okay. Was that the only
That's the
military
only
we have?
casualty we
Ben,
have.
you want to do, I think you've got 4 police officers killed in action?
5 of them.
5.
Yes, sir. Sergeant Eric Meyer of the Crawford Police Department in New York. His end of watch was Thursday, September 17th, 2015. Trooper Kyle Young of the Vermont State Police in Vermont. His end of watch was Thursday, September 17th, 2015. Police Officer Kevin Totley from the DeKalb County Police Department in Georgia. End of watch Saturday, September 19th, 2015. Trooper Nathan Michael W. Smith from the Virginia State Police. His end of watch Monday, September 21st, 2015. Deputy Sheriff Bill Myers from the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office in Florida. End of watch Tuesday, September 22nd, 2015.
Before we started, I had mentioned to Ben and some of the guys in the studio about the Okaloosa Sheriff's deputy who actually retired from service. He did 25 years, went back to work serving civil warrants.
Civil papers.
And actually did it because he wanted to take his grandchildren to Disney and show them a great time. And this idiot, killed him the other night. So, unfortunately. All right. Anybody have anybody local they want to mention at all?
Not this morning, no.
Okay. All right.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Thanks, Larry. We're going to go ahead and talk about a couple of folks, Bob Wines and Ford.
And of course, WOCA. If it wasn't for Joe and Larry and Robin and the great folks here at WOCA, we couldn't bring you Veterans News Hour. And we want to thank the folks at the Ocala Ford dealer. And when we say Ocala Ford, that's the dealerships that serve Gainesville, Leesburg, the Villages, and Bellevue. Okay, the main office of Ford, of course, is in beautiful Ocala, located at 2816 North Pine Avenue. And that's your Ford dealer. You can get any kind of Ford. You can get Ford trucks, and also Lincolns if you're up to that kind of status. And you can also get they have a great line of used cars, parts and service that can't be beat. Those hard to find parts, they'll get them for you if they don't have them. And if you're not interested in buying, you could also lease. And something interesting that Hank and I learned yesterday when we talked to one of the guys from Ford's, they have some really good warranty programs. So, you know, when you go to buy one, or if you're interested in one, make sure you ask your salesman about it. You can't beat a Ford. And we want to thank the wonderful folks at Bob Wine's Camellia Garden and Nursery who have bringing us Veterans News Hour for quite a while. And they're located at 2610 Southeast 38th Street in beautiful Ocala. When it comes to your landscaping needs, Bob Wines has what you need. Everything from small plants to large trees, mulch, fertilizers, and more. If they plant a tree, they'll guarantee it. And if you can't get down there to get it, they'll deliver it. They've been keeping things blooming in Ocala since 1952. And another good thing about Bob Wines, if you tell them you're a veteran, you'll get a 10% discount. And I want to just say this real quick. Mother's Day, which was in May, my son bought my wife a beautiful camellia. 2 weeks ago, it got its first bloom, and now it's got 21 beautiful blooms on it. So get down there and get your camellias, because they're blooming now.
Yeah. Well, all that stuff I bought a couple of weeks ago is doing well. Planted it, it's all doing well. So they sell, you know, they sell good products, and they'll tell you how to take care of it. And Ford did come by our office yesterday, Ocala Ford, and wanted to know how they could help out the veterans in Marion County. So they're good people over there. And Steve Holosi is the general manager there. They, like Bob Wines, are very veteran friendly. And speaking of that, we had a very nice and generous contribution from Wayne Harper's Dr. Wayne Harper's dental office here in town the other day. Was it Wednesday we went over there? I think it was Wednesday.
Yesterday.
Wednesday. Tuesday. No, it was Tuesday actually.
Was it Tuesday actually?
Tuesday. Yeah, actually it was Tuesday.
Then actually it was.
I know my dates and my days.
You're good. That's why you're there.
That's why I'm the executive.
That's why you're executive director.
But anyway, they went above and beyond and gave a portion of their treatment money to us, you know, to serve veterans. And as I tell everybody all the time, when you make a donation, none of that money goes for any foolishness other than direct care to veterans. So, but anyway, I couldn't thank them enough. They were over there on 17th and 17th Street, 18th Avenue, right at the corner. Yeah. Outstanding. I couldn't be happier, and just thank Dr. Harper and his staff and the patients as well, obviously.
Yeah, they all put up with you when you were there. That was
they
nice.
were very nice to me.
They had the backup.
Considering their, my reputation. You know.
They had the backup, the little needles that make you go woo-woo.
Yeah.
And so they had the backup there for you. You were all right.
I think that's all coming out of your bill anyway. So,
probably is. Probably part of my bill is going to go towards the vets, helping vets. Yeah.
Anyway, thanks again. All those folks that helped the veterans out in Marion County, we really do appreciate it. Couldn't do it without you. Ben Adams has been with the I don't know how long you've been with the Sheriff's Department, Ben?
9 years.
9 years. My God, I don't think that much time has gone by. Before that, you've done the U.S. Marine Corps and the reserves.
Yes, sir.
And you're an MP in the Marine Corps?
I was an MP in the Marine Corps and with the local 351st.
Very good. Outstanding. Outstanding service. You're still serving the county. You just won that big award from the American Legion as Police Officer of the Year nationally.
National
Law Enforcement Officer. So we're proud to have you here in Marion County. I know the sheriff is proud to have you serving. We appreciate it.
Thank
you. Got some things you wanted to talk about this morning. I think you had some. What are you doing now? Warrants Division?
I'm the supervisor over the Fugitive Apprehension Division, which is the warrants unit.
Outstanding. Mm-hmm. And prior to that, you were sort of involved in crime prevention, and what else did you do? Tell us a little bit about this whole thing about the kiosk that really started off here in Marion County and is now going statewide and nationally.
Yeah, it actually started years ago when the sheriff. I'll just leave it at years ago when the sheriff was a detective, a young detective.
That was about 5, I think.
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 years ago. So it wasn't long ago. He started a program where he had cameras installed in convenience stores. Mm-hmm. And so whenever they would follow certain guidelines, he would install this camera and it'd take these great photos. But you can get a great photo of a suspect that was committing a crime. It looked like they went to Olin Mills and had a picture taken. But you can get these pictures, and so what do you do with them when you have them? If you don't, you have to know somebody that's in that picture. So what he started doing was he would take copies of these pictures to the jail and pin them up, and he brought them right up here to the mall, and he'd basically stick them onto a piece of styrofoam, and he'd have a number on there, and people would call the number and say, hey, this person is so and so. So when he became the sheriff, he realized he could use technology to our advantage, and we can put up the pictures all over the county if we had a kiosk of sorts. So that's when we had one made, and we put it here in the mall. It was the first one.
Very good. Yeah.
Cool idea.
You got to take a break.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll come back, and I want to kind of follow up on that a little bit about statistics and how much we've cut
Certainly.
back on crime, or what kind of things are being reported.
Certainly.
All right, we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident for today. Clouds and limited sun with a couple of showers and thunderstorms around. High 84 to 88. Partly cloudy tonight with a shower and thunderstorm in the area, mainly early. Low 68 inland, 73 at the coast. For tomorrow, times of clouds and sun with a thunderstorm around during the late morning and afternoon hours. The high 86 to 90. For Saturday, times of sun and clouds with a thunderstorm likely, especially in the afternoon. The high 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Hey everybody, Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens is having a huge truckload azalea sale just in time for your fall planting. Listen to this. You can select from a whole host of quality azaleas with prices starting as low as $2.99. Fabulous colors like Southern Charm, Duke de Rhone, and Dogwood. Take your pick. They're regularly $6.99, but yours now for just $2.99 during this fabulous truckload sale. Check out the BOGO deals this week at Bob Wine's. Hibiscus, buy one, get one. Bottle brush, buy one, get one. A special selection of citrus trees, also buy one, get one. Bob's famous sun and shade-loving camellias, regularly $39.99, now get 3 for $99. Can't beat the deals this week at Bob Wine's. New fall store hours, daily till 4, Saturdays till 2. See you this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 840-0750. That's 840-0750.
All right, 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's return to Veterans
Not on a
News.
Thursday morning.
Hank?
Well, Joe ran out of here. Come. All right. We were mean to him.
I'm not sure what happened there.
He couldn't. Well, we were mean to Joe, so
Okay.
he left. Listen, talk to how many places do you have those kiosks, and if, for instance, a store owner or a business wants to put one in, what's the procedures for that?
Currently, we have around 112. We're right in the process of deploying more. We had 107 before last week. We just purchased 22 more. So within a couple of weeks, we will have 129 kiosks throughout the county. And of course, all of that, these kiosks come from a crime prevention fund.
Mm-hmm.
And the sheriff chooses to use that crime prevention fund, which is funded basically by drug dealers for the most part. So it doesn't cost the taxpayers. So the drug dealers are actually paying for us to put the word out and catch other drug dealers and find just heard this morning that a young lady was
found, that was missing for a week, And I'll tell you, and you put one in my office, and there was someone who came in who wasn't wanted, but nevertheless we needed to know about him and what what he was all about. It was a sex offender, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of gave us a heads up that who we're dealing with, and that helps us out. So it helps businesses out. I know you're at Walmart now and some other
Yes,
big
we just
stores.
deployed them into Walmart, and that's the beauty of it. We wanted to be able to identify people like the sheriff. The sheriff wanted to be able to identify folks that we couldn't identify. But what it's turned into is we're able to find missing persons, and all missing persons go on our kiosk. The sheriff has said that no matter what kind of missing person, especially when it's just missing runaways, no matter what, we are putting them on the kiosk because he wants to do every single thing that we can to prevent any kind of human trafficking issues, which we have had those in the past here in Marion County. And so we've been able to locate missing persons. We've been able to identify people. We've found wanted people. We've notified people of sex offenders and predators and
Very good.
that had access to
Well, that's
children.
what happened in our office. I mean, we knew the guy, but that helped us identify because there are issues with us too. Sometimes we have families in our office as well. You didn't have a phone call. You were kind of giving me some sort of funny signal over there.
No, could I ask a question though?
Sure.
Are the kiosk images also available on a website? Could we look at them online?
We are working on being able to look at what is presented on the kiosk through our website.
It's outstanding. Yeah, it really has been a great tool, and I know the sheriff had talked about some statistical information he had about how many people have been basically turned in by citizens spotting them on the kiosk and in a convenience store or something like that. Yeah, and you do the Amber Alerts through there too, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Amber Alerts through there.
Amber Alerts and Silver Alerts. And what happens when an Amber Alert or Silver Alert comes on, it basically takes over 2/3 of the machine. There's 3 screens. It takes over 2 of those screens to make it, and it flashes. So you cannot miss an Amber Alert or Silver Alert on that thing.
99.9% of the folks know what that is, but in case they don't, why don't you just tell them what it is?
It's when a missing person has, say, been abducted and there's vehicle information, especially with young people that have been abducted. So, but it takes over and it alerts everyone.
Yeah. Didn't the Sheriff's Department too just receive some sort of national attention for this
There's
whole
a
thing?
National Association of Counties that gave the Sheriff's Office an award for the kiosk. And in the previous year, the Florida Crime Prevention Tool of the Year is the award.
Is that right?
Florida Crime Prevention Tool of the Year.
Those these things. So you tell the sheriff told me that Pam Bondi, Attorney General, wanted to take this statewide, have in every county. So I guess we're in the process she's in the process of securing dollars to do this.
We actually drove one up to Attorney General Bondi's office and had one sitting out there because she is, in some way she's trying to push to get this all interconnected throughout the state for the purposes of Amber Alerts, human trafficking. She is big on human trafficking. For the purpose of Silver Alerts, if we have other counties that have information that some dangerous criminal has come to our county. So she's been working on that. She's slowly but surely working it in.
Very good. Yeah, I know this is more of an administrative question, but how you all doing recruiting out there? My son is a sergeant in another police department. They were telling me they're having some trouble, doing some recruitment. Are we having any issues here recruiting people?
It's getting a lot better. Actually, the sheriff came in and found out that it was taking a little bit long to process applicants and to screen them, and so it's been streamlined. What used to take 5 or 6 months, and that's kind of typical for law enforcement. It takes months to process them and get them through all this necessary steps. And he streamlined it, and I don't want to speak out of turn here, but it's somewhere around 3 weeks or so, 3 or 4 weeks, that we can get somebody processed and screened. What he started doing was he says, we're not going to hire somebody and then see if they can shoot. We're not going to hire somebody and then see if they can pass our PT test. Something else that he implemented. So that's the first thing that they have to do right out of the gate, and they don't go any further in the application process. But recruiting is getting good. He just swore in just a couple of weeks ago. I think it's been about 2 months now. He swore in 9.
Outstanding.
9 new deputies.
And what's a deputy start off at? Do you know?
$32,000.
$32,000 a year. Okay, that's pretty low money. Well, I think somewhere along the line, I remember seeing some statistics. We were in the bottom third or bottom quarter.
Yes, we
maybe
are.
Even lower than that in terms of
Yes.
what we pay our deputies.
Correct.
It's low. Is it lower than OPD?
Yes, it is.
It's lower than
considerably.
OPD. And I know, and I've known a number of you guys out there for years, and a lot of really sharp, deputies have gone out to other counties and other police departments because they can make, $15,000, $20,000 more a year doing the same job, and in some cases, quite frankly, not as busy as they are here. So. That kind of puts the citizens on alert that we need to support the sheriff's department, make sure you guys are paid well and we recruit well, and then once we recruit, we do all the recruitment, we hold on to you. It's kind of silly to train all you folks and then you have to move out of necessity because you're not being able to pay your bills here. So
and that's important because we're attracting highly educated young people, whereas years ago you didn't have to have a degree, but now we're attracting highly educated young people that are just fantastic.
I know you guys well. I know most of you out there, and you're all you're outstanding people. You attract a higher. It is a high quality. I'll leave you out of the equation, Ben, but
I appreciate that.
But and it's a shame. And I've argued this point for years. I used to have the same argument with the city about their firemen, that we train people and then they move on. And obviously that's happening across the board with firefighters, sheriff's deputies, and the stuff. So, sometimes you got to bite the bullet as a citizen and say, hey, look, I'll pay a few more dollars on my tax bill, but I want these folks to stay in Marion County because ultimately they're protecting us. I mean, that's ultimately the better police forces we have and fire departments we have, the safer we're at. So if it costs me a few extra dollars for that, I'm willing to do it.
And on the same lines, it's not just the highly educated, but we've got a couple of guys that are veterans that have served in Iraq and in Afghanistan, and they've been put under pressure, and they handled it. Handled it very well.
Yeah, you guys
so
have
they've been put through the test.
A good job of hiring vets out there too. So we pat on the back to the sheriff's department for doing that. He's very Chris Blair is very conscious about hiring veterans because they're trained and they're good employees to have. So. Curly, I didn't want to cut you off. I know you must have something. You came back to see us today. You got any kind of announcements to make?
Well, I had to be perfectly honest, but I haven't had anything to announce last week, primarily because I'm an instructor for the Christian Leadership School out at our church.
Very good.
And I'm a certified instructor, so I had to put plenty of time and hours on my courses so that I'm able to present what I need to present. So with that in mind, like I said, I'm just here this morning to let everybody know about our upcoming dinner dance, which is going to be November the 7th. And it starts at 6:30, and the places will be Ocala Elks Lodge, address 702 Northeast 25th Avenue. You may participate in one of the three following ways. You may take an ad in our journal. Black and white ad is from $25 to up to $100 for a full page. The color ads are $45 up to $200 for a full page. We need all these ads in by October 15th so that we can process them and certify them and make sure everything is A-OK with the printing, and then we'll send to the print shop, and then each one of the people who participated will be able to receive a catalog. Or you may be able to purchase a ticket for the dinner dance itself. It's $40. I got two for you already, Hank.
You got two for me. Can I bring Ben?
Yes.
I'm leading, Ben.
Are you leading?
I'm leading.
Okay.
And you also can list your name in the journal as a patron for $5. So, and want everybody also to realize that for a one-time contribution of $250 cash money, you have your name put on a plaque. It's going to be a donor's plaque right outside the building, and it's going to be there perpetually whenever the building is constructed. So we have lots and lots of things going on for this coming up couple of months, and so we want everybody to be aware of it. Once again, it's our annual dinner dance, Saturday, November the 7th, 2015, at 6:30 p.m. at the Ocala Elks Lodge.
Okay.
And for more information, if you have a tendency to want to call Miss Lizzie Lennon, our president of the auxiliary, at 352-351-3599, or you can call Charles Laurier who is also a serviceman now. It's called 352-732-3655.
Okay, outstanding. Well, listen, we got to go. We're going to thank Bob Wine's Nursery, and got all your good plants out there. And as I said, they're outstanding service. You get a discount if you're a veteran. You have to bring some proof of that. And the Ford dealerships in and around the area, particularly Ocala Ford. And I'll do the same sort of thing that Gary does. The WOCA and Larry and all the family over here. Hey, Ben, thanks for coming on. Thanks all the troops and Sheriff Blair out there at the Sheriff's Department. We really appreciate your service, and you guys do an outstanding job for the county. We appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Larry. God, hey, as I tell you every week, thank you for your service. God bless America, everybody.
Pope Francis this morning becomes the first pontiff to address a joint meeting of Congress.
This is like a State of the Union address. Members of Congress and Supreme Court justices expected to be there. Then